So you say you want to join Black Lives Matter? Well, maybe you need to look under the hood before you buy the car. What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And you know what doesn't make sense to me? Why would a lot of black people jump on board with a cause and with organization that they didn't take the time to look and investigate to find out what the organization really stand for, what they mean? Because you don't know. You don't know who you're going to connect your caboose to. You don't know that. Sometimes you got to dig a little deeper because you might be fulfilling an agenda of a whole different type of entity than the one you think you're fulfilling. I mean, you know how many of these big old movements, disguise and package up their real agenda with the cool name. I mean, heck, that would be like, supporting Ku Klux Klan that simply just change their name to Democrats. I mean, you know what I mean? Kind of, the same analogy. I mean, if you look at some of the characteristics of what the Klan and what the slave masters did, I mean, they wanted the slaves to be on the plantation, picking cotton, baling hay, and being totally, subservient and codependent to the master. And then you get, they just switch it up a little bit, change the name, and they go from, slave master / KKK to Democratic Party, which kind of, just say, let's take all these black folks off the plantation picking cotton and put them on the plantation of voting. There you go. And still make them become codependent to the slave masters. In this case, I mean, it's interchangeable. You got Democratic Party, slave master. I mean, it's kind of equivalent. And making sure that black folks be content being on that plantation because they trust that the Democratic Party, just like the slaves trust, that the slave masters took good care of them. See, but they didn't even know that they were serving an agenda of someone else and a person who didn't have their best interests in mind. So here you go. You come home, you're excited. Mom, Dad, I want to feel like I belong. I want to join Black Lives Matter. Well, son, let me go take a look and see what this Black Lives Matter monkey business is all about. And don't run back saying, he called all the Black Lives Matter people monkeys. Okay, it's monkey business. Hopefully we ain't became so politically correct you can't say that anymore. Anyway, let's move on. Because, see, I need to find out where I fit in, okay? I want to make sure before I jump on board and become a soul brother number one, power to the people, I need to find out what they're talking about. So let me see here. Let me see. Okay, here it is over their website, Black Lives Matter. All right, so they begin as a call to action in response to the state-sanctioned violence and anti-black racism. So wait a minute. The Black Lives Matter feel that the state-sanctioned violence against black people, can they maybe find that on one of the laws or the books or something like that? But anyway, that I'm sure that's not important to them. And as I read, I'll be able to see myself inserted in the cause of Black Lives Matter, because it's a lot of brothers running around right now talking about we down with Black Lives Matter. Well, let's make sure the brothers fit in. So let me see. Okay, let me scoot down here. Okay, our intentions from the very beginning was to connect black people from all over the world who have shared desires for justice and act together in their communities. The impetus for that commitment was, and still is, the rampant and deliberate violence inflicted on us by the state. Rampant? I mean, could you give me some data on that? And please tell me how you know it is according to the state's mandate to inflict violence upon black people. I mean, there's a lot of black people work for the state, and I'm sure they probably would have ran across some documents that said, okay, our goal and objective is to inflict violence upon black folks. Anyway, so it says, enraged by the death of Trayvon Martin and the subsequent acquittal of his killer, George Zimmerman, and inspired by the 31-day takeover of the Florida state capitol by Power U and the Dream Defenders, we took to the streets. A year later, we set out together on Black Lives Matter Freedom Ride to Ferguson in search of justice for Mike Brown. You mean the Mike Brown that got himself shot? The Mike Brown that, if you go back and look at the case, you'll see that he brought that all the way on himself and it was a lie. And yet you had people on CNN and MSNBC, we stand with you, Mike Brown, hands up, don't shoot. And they never came out and told everybody that this was a big lie. And people still running around talking about Ferguson. Anyway, you know what? I'm going to skip down to the real part because, see, I need to see what they believe and what they stand for, because I need to see, me as a black man, I want to help out. I want to get involved. But I want to make sure I'm involved with the right thing, right? Okay, let's see how. Okay. All right. It says, every day we recommit to healing ourselves and each other and to the co-creating alongside comrades. What? Wait a minute. Isn't that a Russian term? Isn't that a term that the Socialist Party got together and was using a couple years back? You know, everybody was a comrade. You know, maybe, you know what? I don't want to assume. I don't want to assume that Black Lives Matter really are a disguise for a socialist movement, Marxist, communist, all that stuff. I don't want to assume that, even though the leader of Black Lives Matter was on a program the other day and said that she was a trained Marxist along with her, you know, co-founder and everything. And I'm pretty sure if I go back to history, Marxism, you know, socialism, communism, all that kind of just wrapped up in one. But anyway, I'm sure that's not their goal and objective, because they're here to save black lives. All right, so let me see. What else? What else does it say? We acknowledge, respect, and celebrate differences and commonalities. Okay, yeah, sounds good for here. I mean, maybe if I would have just stopped reading right there, I would be okay. But me, being an educated black man and not impulsive and emotional and being able to be manipulated by people, I'm going to continue reading. So it says, we intentionally build and nurture a beloved community that is bonded together through a beautiful struggle that is restorative, not depleting. Okay, that sounds good. So, you know, right now they got my attention. Let me turn the page, see what else. I'm getting caught up in this book here. All right, it says, we see ourselves as part of the global black family, and we are aware of the different ways we are impacted or privileged as black people who exist in different parts of the world. So I guess now we got black privilege. They never really describe what group of black people have the... They don't want to deal with details, so you know what? I'm just going to keep moving. All right, so it says, we are guided by the fact that all Black lives matter. I'm just curious. I didn't know that was a big problem in today's society. I mean, last I checked, there's not a lot of black people. I mean, I'm sorry, not a lot of people, period, walking around saying, you know what doesn't matter? Black lives. I mean, all the other lives do. But hey, when black lives come on the scene and they get killed, we celebrate. We secretly celebrate. We actually want to see more black lives destroyed. I mean, I'm just curious. I haven't heard that memo yet. Okay, let me see. What else? Oh, here we go. It's getting good, y'all. It says, regardless of... Okay, here we go. So we are guided by the fact that all black lives matter, regardless of actual or perceived sexual identity. Now, how did that just randomly come up? I mean, I thought we were talking about black lives and really... what does your sexual identity have to do with anything? Maybe they're going somewhere with this. Maybe by reading this, we're starting to unravel their bigger agenda. Maybe their agenda isn't just about black lives. I'm starting to be concerned. I need to see where I fit in. Maybe I need to keep reading, because I would hope to think that because all of the brothers that's been killed by police and they used all those deaths to spark up Black Lives Matter, I would think that they care about more than just black people's sexuality and all that stuff. I mean, let's be real. Last I checked, only time Black Lives Matter came out and started, you know, protesting and blogging and all that stuff is only when black men get killed by white cops. Now, I'm just wondering. See, because when I joined this organization as a brother that want to be down for the cause, I'm thinking, well, there's more to black lives than just black people to get killed by cops, white cops. You know, you got to make sure it's white cops. Heck, what about their standard of living? Do Black Lives matter about that? I mean, do Black Lives matter when it comes down to poor schools ran by the Democrats, violent neighborhoods ran by the Democrats, all of those things, huh? Poor education, all that stuff, yeah, Democrats, all that. Do that part of Black Lives matter, or is it just black lives that get killed by white cops? I'm just curious. Because I think maybe we should change the name. Black lives that get killed by white cops matter. I mean, if they be honest with me and just straight up say that out loud, I'll be all right. I respect that. But instead, for some reason, they're trying to make us think that all black lives matter, but they're not being specific. They're not being specific, because if all black lives mattered, they would have said something about all the black lives that was killed in Chicago a weekend ago. Nothing? Oh, okay, they weren't killed by the right white cop. That's what it was. Okay, let's continue. So, moving on, it says, we are self-reflect. Oh, wait, let me go back. Did I skip that? It says, we make space. Oh, what is all this? Oh, don't see. No, they almost got past me. It says, we are guided by the fact that all black lives matter, regardless of actual or perceived sexual identity, gender expression, economic status, ability, disability, religious beliefs or disbeliefs, immigration status, or location. Okay, now, why throw all that in? That's what I'm wondering. Maybe we're going somewhere with this. It says, we make space for transgender brothers, sisters to participate and lead. Okay, so maybe they're just trying to be inclusive, because, see, I'm waiting to see where the black man stands. I mean, the just straight up, strong, positive black man. That's what I want to know, because I need to know that I can fit into this agenda right here. Surely they're going to bring that up in a second, right? I just want to make sure, the brothers is included. Okay. All right, so let's continue. It says, we are self-reflective and do the work required to dismantle cisgender privilege. What the crap? First of all, I didn't know it was a privilege to have a male-female relationship. I mean, I thought the family unit was important. I didn't know that this was a problem that needs to be dismantled. Maybe I'm starting to look up under the hood and find out that you're trying to sell me a lemon. That's what I'm thinking, because why would you want to destroy what they define as cisgender relationships? I mean, that's what decimated the black community in the first place. Huh. Well, maybe they're going somewhere with this. Okay, so it says, we are self-reflective and do the work required to dismantle cisgender privilege. Why would they do that? And uplift black trans folks. Well, I thought it was going to say uplift the black man, who is the #1 victim of crime from the inner city, from black on black crime. And according to them, the police brutality, all of that stuff, I don't see a lot of sisters being the victims, more so than the straight up hardcore brother that's out there. I mean, maybe I'm missing some stats. Maybe, just maybe, there are thousands and thousands of attacks on transgender women and men that just aren't being reported. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's continue. So it says, black trans folks, especially black trans women, who are continued to be disproportionately impacted by trans antagonist violence. What? I'm starting to feel a little concerned that I'm not seeing where I would fit into this program as a black man, a heterosexual black man. I'm not seeing where I fit in. I would hate to think that a lot of ignorant black people done jumped on board to push an agenda that they don't even know they're pushing. Okay. All right, let's continue though. We practice empathy. Oh wait, it says we build space to affirm black women. What? I thought I was going to say we build space to affirm black men. But no. Okay, this is starting to sound like it's a feminist movement, or even perhaps like a hyena clan, where the women run the whole clan and they just tolerate men, but the men can't be too tough. They can't, them male hyenas better not be too dominant. They need to lack testosterone. They need to lack it, okay? So all you hardcore brothers who think you out there fighting for the cause and down with the movement, apparently, if you too hardcore, maybe, you don't belong. Or if you want to rise to the top and become a real leader in Black Lives Matter, I don't know if they okay with that. Okay, but anyway, let's continue, because I'm sure the black man's going to be mentioned at any second in this. Okay, so let me see. What else do they say? Oh, here we go. We practice empathy. We engage comrades, there's that word again, with the intent to learn about and connect with their context. All right, it says, we make our spaces family friendly and enable parents to fully participate with their children. We dismantle the patriarchal practices. We dismantle patriarch practices that requires mothers to work double shifts so that they can mother in private, even as they participate in public justice work. Now, I'm concerned. I'm starting to think that men are being targeted in this. Patriarchal practices? I mean, is there a lot of men out there sitting at home, feet up, eating, drinking beer, smoking cigars, and telling their wife, go out and work 2 jobs, woman, and when you get back, you better get those shoes off your feet. I'm going to put a bun in your oven, and you get in that kitchen and cook. Don't you say a word. What's the matter with you? Why are you looking at me like that? Your face hurt? Don't make me put my hands in. You think I like beating you? You think I like this? I don't like this. Now go get me a beer. I guess that's what they're saying. Because see, last I checked, growing up in a black neighborhood where the family unit has been just destroyed because of Democratic policies, black women who worked 2 jobs were admired because they were just doing what they got to do. But apparently, according to this, they're being forced by the patriarchal system. So I'm wondering if this is maybe a feminist group that I'm joining. Because I don't want to be a part of that. All right, now let's continue though. Well, now look at this. We disrupt the Western prescribed nuclear family structure required by supporting each other as extended families and villages that collectively care for one another, especially our children, to the degree that mothers, parents, and children are comfortable. So let me get this straight as I'm reading this. I'm trying to just do some deductive reasoning, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it says, we disrupt the Western prescribed nuclear family. So wait a minute. So I guess they're saying that man, woman, husband, wife, kids, family was all thrusted upon mankind, not from the dawn of the beginning of time, but instead by Western Anglo-Saxon values. I didn't know these. Hey, you know what? You guys are going to get your whole concept of a husband, wife, kids, all of that stuff, not from your built-in desire, your natural built-in, temperament that just speaks to you, all of those natural things that just draw man and woman together. You know what I'm saying? Not because of that, not because of your religious beliefs. No, none of that stuff. You got that from the white man, from Western values. That's what you got. And yet, at the same time, they're talking about they want to disrupt that. Now, why would they target that? What that got to do with anything? That's what I want to know. How about this? We foster a queer affirming network. Oh, there it is. So instead of just recognizing that there are heterosexual relationships and there are gay relationships, instead they decide to describe heterosexual relationships as the Western prescribed nuclear family, and yet they say we foster a queer affirming network. So when we gather, we do so with the intention of freeing ourselves from the tight grip of heteronormative thinking. I didn't know that y'all still needed to get free from that. I'm just curious. I'm wondering because last I checked, nobody's sitting around telling y'all that y'all can't do what you do in your privacy in your own home. I mean, nobody cares what you do with, how you do your thing, okay? Just don't do your thing with their thing, and then everybody's okay. But apparently they need to really focus on this. And I'm yet to see where the black man, who is the biggest victim of violence and death and all that stuff, nowhere. I'm not finding myself in this. I'm wondering why I even, woke up now I'm down to, power to the people. I'm about to go out and march with the Black Lives Matter. That really, my black life don't matter unless I get killed by a white cop, because none of that talks about me. But anyway, so let me see. What else? Okay, check this out. So, freeing ourselves from the tight grip of heteronormative thinking, or rather the belief that all in the world are heterosexual. I think it's pretty obvious that everyone isn't heterosexual. Anyway. All right. It says, unless he, she, or they disclose otherwise, we cultivate an intergenerational and communal network free from ageism. That word's going to come back up in a second. It says, we believe that all people, regardless of age, show up with the capacity to lead and learn. We embody and practice justice, liberation, and peace in our engagements with one another. Now, as I go back up to the top, let me see something. Okay, I engage with all this stuff. Yeah, that sounds good. Ferguson, and through the movement, the relationship. I just want to make sure I ain't miss nothing. All right, because they're talking about we need to be liberated. Now, I'm just wondering, I thought that we were after slavery because we haven't been liberated. That's news to me. I mean, last I checked, I didn't get stopped by the police and have to show my black slave free papers. Here's my papers, sir. I'm a free slave. Please don't take me back to the plantation. So I guess Martin Luther King died for nothing because they're saying we still need to be liberated. So you know what? Maybe Judge Joe Brown can help me out a little bit and give me some more insight to Black Lives Matter, because maybe there's a component that I'm missing, and perhaps this component might include the black heterosexual strong Asiatic black man, you know, because those are terms you got to use. You want to really sound more black. Yeah, you don't understand the plight of the Asiatic black man. Yeah, you got to do all that stuff. So here we go. Oh, this is Judge Brown. Okay, all right. Somebody he's talking to on Twitter that said the alphabet mafia at work, and we will know they're lying to add P. What does that mean? Okay, so Judge Brown responds and he says, they did through BLM. Now, the P, I think, stands for, I can't say it out loud. Anyway, so it says they did through BLM. The next to last point in their manifesto is lifted word for word from the defunct NAMBLA. That's an interesting acronym. Better go ahead and look and see what it stands for. Okay, No American Man Boy Love Association. What the crap? What the cut the bull? What is this? No American Man Boy Love Association. What kind of freakiness? If I'm not mistaken, I think that might be referring to underage people having relations with, older people. I'm not sure. Let's continue. It says, he goes on to say, it also matches part of the Gay Right Manifesto of 1972 under state action to remove age as a factor in sexual consent. So you mean to tell me I done ran off and got hooked up with a cult? You mean to tell me all I wanted to do was just support the movement, stick up for the brothers, and show the man that we ain't gonna take it no more and fight against all this systemic racism and oppression and slavery that I didn't live through and all of that stuff. Yeah, civil rights movement that I don't understand, and all this racism that people are making up, because it's systemic. But nonetheless, you mean to tell me I done got involved with pretty much a cult? That right there didn't include the black man. It didn't address the real issues and dangers to the black community. I mean, it sounds like they're more so for feminist, globalist, Marxist agenda, and a big old fat LGBTQYXXMZ2 negative 357 semicolon dot, all of that stuff. That's what it sounds like to me as my gadget falls. Now, so for all those brothers out there that you want to belong, you want to get involved with the movement and stuff, all the sisters who love black men, and you like, I'm sick and tired of my brothers being killed in the streets, I'm about to join Black Lives Matter. Go ahead, because that's what you're joining. Yeah, you done walked onto the car lot and they done sold you a lemon because you didn't look up under the hood. Soon as you came on, look here, my brother, my sister, you realize that black men are being hunted and black women are being oppressed and all of this stuff, and you bought into the hype. Didn't look up under the hood, got home like, put. What's wrong with this thing? Yeah, so that's what you get when you don't investigate garbage movements like this, and you're impulsive, and all you do is just say, what? Racism? Well, let me just go ahead and do whatever they tell me I got to do, because as soon as I hear racism, it triggers me. I don't stop to even investigate nothing else. I just hear racism and I'm like a dog, this rage. What? Who you want me to sig? Just say it. Donald Trump, I'm on it. How about those statues? Yeah, just tell you to sig anything and you go running after it. Anyway, so God bless y'all. I thought that I would maybe shed light, because I was just about to join the Black Lives Matter movement, but because I ain't like one of the mindless lemmings that's going to become a useful idiot and jump on board with this cult ran by not even black people but by white, people that they claim, you know, are white supremacists and all that. Yeah, forget all that mess. We ain't got to talk about it. Anyway, so before I was going to jump onto the board, I'm like, oh, maybe I'm involved. Maybe I'm included. Maybe they looking out for my best interest, but I don't think they are. So God bless you. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and the notification button. And you can find me every Wednesday night, 7:30 live. Kevin's Corner on YouTube, my radio blog talk show, and also on, let's see, Facebook Live. Don't forget to check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. If you like their products, put Kevin in the promo code. Links below. You'll get a 20% discount. If you want to donate to Kevin at Kevin's Corner, feel free. Links below. And also, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and my YouTube channel. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The links are below. And make sure you're still subscribed and that your notifications are set to all. Did y'all see y'all? They are actually allowing my views and my subscribers to get a little higher until this video. I'm sure this one's going to be flagged. Anyway, God bless y'all. Next time in Kevin's Corner.